to answer.
Okay. So do you think food, water, and housing should be a human right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, do you think we should like pass a bill in Congress or
Yes.
have the United States pass like a bill, like
Yes.
like an amendment? Like,
Absolutely.
okay, awesome.
It really bothers me. Like, I went traveling to Vegas recently, and there's no tax on food there. And that's something I've said for a long time, is that the things that we require just to be well and exist should absolutely not be taxed. I think that's terrible.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And what do you think about aliens? Like, have you ever seen one?
Aliens?
Or, like, what do you think they are? Have you ever had an encounter?
I've never. I don't want to say call it an encounter, but I was on my way back from Burning Man this year. I was sober, nothing in my system, and I was driving along this really long stretch of road. And I was taking the time to help everyone I saw pulled over on the side of the road. So when I did, it was an RV that had their hazards blinking. And I got out and I looked up to my left and I saw this disc just like above me, and this light just like zoomed out. Like it was stationary in the sky, and then it just zoomed out, and I just saw like this clear of light go behind it. And I remember thinking to myself, just don't take notice of me.
Yeah, you're like, I hope it's friendly.
I think definitely aliens are real, and we have to acknowledge that there is like higher intelligence. The government knows a lot about a lot of things that are going on with that, but for me, I just try to go unnoticed.
Yeah. Do you think like the demons that are talked about in the Bible or angels, do you think those could be aliens?
Sure.
Like, are you a fan of the ancient astronaut theory?
Yeah.
Like from Ancient Aliens on the History Channel?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe in a lot of that. I mean, if you want to go back to like the city of Atlantis and the fact that people think that on the other side of the moon there's actually a whole alien colony. I mean, it could be true.
Yeah, those are rumors.
I like to entertain possibility. I mean,
yeah.
It's pretty easy to influence me, but yeah, I'm willing to consider anything like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do with this too. Is just investigate further, kind of like journalists.
Absolutely. I mean, you're definitely going to run into some people that have had some cool experiences to share, I'm sure.
Okay, cool. And the question, do you think that it's the destiny of human beings to leave Earth? Because like I've been preaching to people like a new manifest destiny. Remember how like back in the day when like we were just living on the East Coast, and then I forget what president it was, but he created like called it like manifest destiny, where he was kind of encouraging people to like conquer the West, like conquer the wilderness and bring civilization to the wilderness, and I mean we did bring civilization. Do you think we should bring civilization to the stars, or do you think we should stay here and like just die here?
This is interesting for me because I just finished watching The 100, which is all about space travel and populating other planets. But I do know that when we die, there is a measurable amount of matter that leaves our body. So we are spiritual beings. Like our soul is not a part of our body. So I don't know about like humans themselves going and inhabiting space, but I have a theory that hell is actually where we stand. And I think that
hell is a state of mind, I think. Like people put themselves in their own
I can see that. Well, yeah, and by doing a lot of the things that are going on here, we make ourselves susceptible to certain spirits, certain entities, things that already exist around us. It's just that the eyes can only see certain spectrums of light, so we're not really aware of what's going on around us. And I think when we die, if you have ascended or if you have achieved a higher consciousness, a state of being in your lifetime, then you do get to ascend. I think that if you didn't meet your life's mission and you lived in any evil way, then your body's likely to stay here until you learn better and reincarnate. I think reincarnation is a big part of it.
Okay, so you think reincarnation is real?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Has to be. There's too many stories that I know of. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine, his brother was just obsessed with praying mantises. His whole life, loved them. And
praying mantises are cool. Yeah. I like
he passed away, and his younger brother, this festival that we're at, had 5 separate interactions with a praying mantis. It appeared next to his canvas, it climbed on him, the next day it was in his tent, he goes home and wakes up and is sitting in front of his TV just staring at him.
Oh wow, that's a lot of coincidences.
Yeah, I think we could take on the forms of trees, insects, animals, other people. That's why we have to acknowledge that all forms of life are really important.
Yeah, alright, I like that. And the last question, do you think that we should domesticate like bears and lions? Because like we're starting to encroach upon their territory, and it's like with the human population increasing, like we may have to push further into a wilderness just to like, you know, take care of the existing humans already. Like, do you think that we should, you know, tame them that way they don't go extinct, you know? Because like the polar bear issue, like they may go extinct because of us. So it's like, do you think we should domesticate them, try to domesticate them and save them?
No.
Or should we just let them all die?
I think what we should do instead is focus on environmental issues that are having impacts on their climates to stop that change. I don't know that animals that are domesticated want to be domesticated. I'll give you an example. I recently adopted a bunny, and you know, a bunny is a lot to care for. We leave his cage open during the day. He runs around the house just like a dog. So if you were to domesticate an animal, you would need enough space to make sure that its, you know, fitness level or health is taken care of. So I don't know that we should domesticate them. I think we should focus on the issues that are making their environments extinct.
Okay. All right, and one last one. I finally remembered the main one I was asking everybody. So, what would you do if, like, let's say you won $1 billion? Like, let's say you won the lottery. What would you do with all that money and all that wealth?
Yeah, this is hard. Because so many people ask me that question, I don't really know. Because personally, I'm not somebody who really thinks about the future too much. I'm always just like really happy with what I have. And people told me that's not having a millionaire mindset. You know, being happy with what you have and not striving for more isn't really enough. But man, I don't know. If I won $1 billion, I'd be happy with having my debt paid off, and then there's just so many different ways like you can help people, you know? I spent a lot of time in soup kitchens growing up. I think what would be important to me is feeding people. Like coming up with a way that if you know, we went back to talking about things that you basically need to survive. I think food is among them. And I know that we have a lot of money to help with homelessness, and we're not employing that really. So maybe something to just help people be fed. I'm for the decentralization of government. I think what we should do instead of having like a higher power in the United States is bring back the government to the local communities, and maybe every 3 blocks, you know, you've got that part of the community has their own little sheriff and their own, you know, garden and all these things. I mean, there really are ways that we could use that money to bring power back to our communities and make people care when they realize that everything that they do has a direct impact on their immediate surroundings. I think people care a lot more if they felt a sense of responsibility. And so, I don't know, maybe using $1 million to come up with a way to help people to care more. I think that's part of it. Apathy is a problem. I don't know how $1 billion can solve apathy, but I could try.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, awesome.